Welcome back folks, and welcome back to a new video. So today again we're gonna be covering Gothic 1 Remake because, well, we have some great news. We finally have the release date for the game. Gothic 1 Remake is releasing on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S on June 5th, 2026, so it's almost here. Now, as I said in my previous video, I was very much worried about a potential delay, and technically this is a delay because initially they were planning to release this in Q1 of 2026, but my main worry was that if we do get a delay, that there isn't going to be a release date, that everything is still gonna be like a release window and as it happens. But no, that's not the case. So June 5th, we're going to finally enter the colony. Now, alongside it, we also got a trailer showcasing some scenes and locations from the game, including the new camp, some parts of the swamp camp. At the same time, we have seen more details about some of the new camp armor. So the mercenary armor we see Nameless wearing here, facing the Shadow Beast. And to be honest, the Shadow Beast in this game look kinda insane. They're a bit different from the original design, and there is some sort of a dark shadow going like off of their feet, so that's going to be somewhat a new thing which wasn't present before. So as far as new stuff goes in the Gothic 1 Remake, this is how it's gonna go. The original game, how it was systems-wise, quest-wise, location-wise, as we remember from the original, is still going to be there. So the path you remember from the old camp to the swamp camp, or from the old camp to the new camp, is still going to remain as it was. But the scale of the game, like the locations themselves, are going to be bigger because, well, it's a newer engine and it's been 20 years, so they can actually do it. And some of the new content is going to be pretty much related to locations that were under unused or maybe not utilized fully due to time constraints and probably budget constraints of Gothic 1 itself. So they're gonna be adding those things as well, which is very nice in my opinion. Another thing which I'm definitely excited about is the magic system. They've been showing some of the magic systems in the past, and to be honest, like, these spells look insane in scale, especially going from the classic title. So I think that the mage playthrough, in case you want to go for that, is gonna be very much viable and something that I'm probably going to really test out once this is fully out, because, well, at least like SFX wise and these effects you see as the Nameless is casting the spell is quite nice. We also see a little shot of Gomez in his aura armor, very interesting, and the sword, which I'm sure I'm going to get by the end of the game, but I don't want to spoil much because some of these scenes in the trailer are quite a spoiler if you haven't played the game. So I'm going to kind of keep quiet on some things because, well, there's gonna be a lot of new people who have never experienced this title and they're gonna be playing Gothic for the first time through a remake. I think ultimately this is good for the community and the IP, because if these people enjoy the remake, they might try out classic games as well, which I fully and actually recommend. Even before remake comes out, if you never play Gothic, I would say, like, sure, go through the classics, because you're going to see what made this title very much a cult classic and one of the best RPGs ever created. I'm also glad that they're going to expand on some of the things, like for example arenas, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a little bit more fleshed out than it was in the original game, which is definitely a plus for me. So whenever they can go and sort of expand on stuff that wasn't fully utilized in the classic is, I think, a very healthy way of tackling a remake, because on one side you want to keep everything which made the game, you know, good in the first place, and everything you add on top of it has to complement those original gameplay designs, which from what I've seen is quite nice, including the sleeper temple and everything, without going again too much into spoilers. And from this scene, we can actually notice that the gang is fully back, so seeing them again sitting like this and standing by the fire is honestly very nostalgic and very nice. Now, at the same time, one of the biggest worries I have so far about the remake is gonna be optimization. And it's okay that we're talking about optimization, we're not talking about some of the bigger problems because, well, I'm glad that they're doing it this way, but judging by the graphical fidelity and something we've experienced even in the demo, I just hope at the end of the day this is gonna be running well, you know, knowing it's Unreal Engine 5, knowing the scope of the game. So right now that's probably my biggest worry, but again, we cannot know about that until the game is fully out. But they have been given time which is nice. At least from what we can see publicly, they have been delaying the game multiple times so they can actually focus on finishing it properly, and they have been changing stuff along the way, you know, with the community feedback, which is always nice to see this positive symbiosis between the fans and the community and developers. And because I think, you know, they have been showing every step of the way, showing changes, listening to what people have to say, I think we might be in for something really special. But again, until we play it, it's difficult to say. And also from what we've seen in this trailer, there's gonna be some additional scenes, especially this one at the beginning where I think Nameless is looking at, maybe Gomez is gonna be showing his strength, who knows. Like, I think it's a very nice way of introducing Gomez as well, because you're gonna, some time will pass until you can actually enter and see the guy, and that's one of the aspects I always enjoyed about Gothic, because even though it's an open map, you have to think very carefully where you're gonna be going, and if you accidentally go into a place which is, you know, not for you, or maybe you go through a camp that you are not allowed, well, you're going to face the consequences. So that's still pretty much there. At least, you know, from the swords we're seeing, the double handers and everything, the detail is just right there. Also, take a look at the specific part of the swamps where we fight these swamp sharks. Now, if you play the original, you know how dangerous those beasts can be, so the detail in the swamp looks absolutely insane. So those are the sort of things I say they expanded upon. So even though technically the swamps were a little bit, you know, smaller in the original game, I'm pretty sure they're going to be extended here just to provide more monsters to fight and some stuff to discover and do some quests in, which again, I don't want to go into detail for, you know, spoilers. But in any case, yes, that's it. June 5th, Gothic 1 Remake is coming out, and I cannot wait to cover it on the channel. I'm gonna be talking a lot about this. You can expect a lot of videos when it comes to this, from guides to gameplay to my review, obviously, and then everything else that I think is gonna be very useful for people who are just starting the game in the first place. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe. Also, tell me down below, what do you think about all of this, and how are you like looking forward to Gothic 1 Remake? Are you happy with what they're doing? Are you not happy with how they're doing? But I think at the end of the day, it's good that more eyes are gonna be on this IP, because I thought for a very long time that, you know, Gothic as an IP is pretty much finished. To see this revival and potentially some, you know, other projects like Gothic 2 in the future would be very nice. Also, yes, Bullet is going to hit us at the beginning, so the starting animation, or well, starting cinematic is gonna be there. So that's it. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.